Okay, here's a quick demo of how I got a character from Maximo into Max. As you can see, I've already imported the character. I'll send you that actual file so you can have a look at the two. And this was just one that I found on Sketchfab. Okay, so what we need to do first of all is to find some animations that we're going to use. Obviously you can create your own, but they will need to be individual ones. So let's just take walking. First one is walking, that'll do. Doesn't really matter what they are for the test. What we do want is to make sure that the animations are in place. Okay, so if we just download that one, and here we want them to set FBX and with skin. Okay, downloading that. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to do one for running. Yeah, there's a run. Again, make sure the in place is clicked and download. Okay, and then you're going to want to carry on finding ones for things like idle, attack, hurt, etc. And you can see from the animations that are listed on the NPC controller which ones you need, and you can have 4 for idle, 3 for attack, 1 for run, 1 for walk, a couple for hurt. Okay, so we will just speed up a bit. I'll download some animations now. You can obviously find your own later, and I'll move you into the max point. Okay, so I've gone into Max, and in this case I've just opened a new project, but you just need to have a project open. So you've got a level where you can import objects to. So I'm going to go and add here, which will open up the library. It's supposed to be taking a few minutes, but okay, so I want that. Then I want to import 3D model here. And then I need to find the model I want to import. In this case I've already downloaded it. And where are we? I will find it in a minute. There you go. Civilian. Okay, so I'm just going to load this one. So this is the one that I downloaded off of Sketchfab. So it's a few seconds to come in. Right, now, if your model comes in large, like this one, don't rescale it yet. You need to rescale it at the very end. So you can apply your various textures to it. I'm only going to do a few because I'm not going to sort of talk you through the whole process as you sort of know what's going on. So just shove some textures on here. That's obviously not the right one. I've completely and utterly messed it up texture wise. Obviously you'll know what the textures will be for yours, so we can come back to that. Let me just sort this out off tutorial, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, I don't think these textures are exactly right, but you've got a fair idea of what we've got with the character now. Okay, so now after this, if you want to just rename it as well, it's called Civilian 3. I'm going to call it Test Import. Doesn't have to be that, but obviously you can choose your name there. And then we want to go to the animation tool. First thing to do is always, regardless how many animations you put in there, is to clear the animations, because we want to build an animation list, okay, from the files. So here we're going to load an animation file, okay. We'll do that, and then I know they're all in this folder. So as I said, we're going to need them for things like dying, idle, etc. So I'm going to start importing a few idle ones. Okay, I'm going to call this idle 1. Okay, and then we can carry on and then do another idle 1. I'll call this idle 2. Okay, and then we will have an attack animation. We'll have the kicking one. Okay, and then we'll have a couple of punching ones. So that's a hook punch there. You don't need to bother rename these like this. You can leave the FBX on there if you want, but I'm just doing it because I find it easier. And then we'll have the final punching one. Okay, and now we're going to want walk and running. So looking down the list, do we have a walk animation? There we go, walking. And then we'll have one running one. That was the running one I downloaded earlier, demonstrating it to you. And then we'll have a couple of files for hurt. So there you go. We'll just have the stomach hit one there, which we can use as injured. And then let's just rename this to hurt. And then we will have death from the front, which is actually what the animation was called. And we can use this for them dying. Okay, so what we've basically got here now is all of the animation frames in place. So then we want to import the object by simply clicking import object here. Okay, you can try browsing for a file if you want. I think we will actually do that. I'm going to just change the location of the file. So just click on there, decide where you're going to store it. So I shall store it in my Max files, and then in Entity Bank, and we will call it, I think I've got a test character file actually somewhere here, but there you go, test characters. I will import it to test characters. It takes a couple of seconds to change the folder here. Don't ask me why, it's one of those anomalies of Max, but when that is done, we will carry on. There we go, that's the folder there, and then we can just click import object, and that will take a couple of moments. And there we go. And obviously, just like you're importing any other object, you've got that here. So then you add object to the library. Now this is under the user folder and test characters. So you can scroll down here, find it on your list. Which I can't, it's actually under my normal folder. There we go. So there you go, test import. Ignore the fact that those two are there, it's a little bit of an anomaly. When you refresh the library, they'll disappear. Okay, so now what we need to do, and now it's been actually imported, is we need to make some actual changes to the FPE file to ensure that they're a character. To do this, we will find the file, which is, as we know, is in our folder. Obviously, it will be in a different folder for you, so you'll need to go to wherever it is. So, test characters, there we go. Okay, so what we've got here is the import character, so that's the one we want. Now you want to edit the FBE file, so you find that, open it up, and make a few changes. For example, is character equals 1, always want to have that. Okay. So if we just save that, and now just wait for Max to catch up, because it's noticed you've changed the file. Now if we open it up to add to the actual level, oh, I forgot to do something, as we can see. To open up again, and then under here, it doesn't really matter where it actually is, but because it's all read off the list, but equals 50, so we'll make that 50%, so it's actually half the size of the imported character. Let's take a few seconds to add, and then we'll have to add him again. Okay, it probably could have actually been a bit smaller than 50% by the looks of him, but we will see how that goes. That should be okay. Now, as you can see, it's a character. All of these are set, so you can change the health here, change whether it's an enemy or whatever. But what we want to do is the behavior. So we click behavior, we browse for NPC controller, and we want the one that's by Necron. Now, if you look, there's things like idle time, attack range, and stuff like that. You can play around with those when we're actually importing stuff, but what you really want to do at the moment now is to select the animations. So, if we select animation for idle 1 and idle 2, we'll leave these blank because I haven't got any imports for any animations for them. You don't need to have them. If they're left blank, it will just ignore the option there. But we do want to add a walk animation, and then a run animation, which is running in this case. We haven't downloaded the threat animation, so we'll ignore it. But we can have the first attack animation as kicking, and the second one as hook, and the third one as punching. I haven't added the shoot animation yet, but again, if you wanted the character to shoot, you would have one. The hurt animation is just hurt, because remember we renamed it. And the death animation is death from the front. Okay, now that will actually do it. So what we want to do now is give it a quick test, and all being well, once everything's loaded, this giant of a character, when he's running quite slowly, we're going to change his speed and thing, and he will now attack us. Now he's forgotten about us. Now we can change the delays there. Actually in the NPC controller, so we can make the attack faster or the damage to return at different points. Apparently he's had enough of beating us up. But there you go. That is how to import a character into Max. So I hope that helps.